From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
And thanks for joining us. The polls are open for another 2 hours in Wisconsin.
There is one statewide race this year for Wisconsin's Supreme Court, but there are a number of local races, including Mayor of Madison. Satya Rhodes Conway is challenging incumbent Mayor Paul Soglin.
And we have live team coverage of this race. We start with Keely Arthur, who is covering Mayor Paul Soglin's campaign. Keely?
Well, Madison Mayor Paul Soglin and his supporters will be here at the Brink Lounge in just a couple of hours. If reelected, Soglin would only solidify his spot as Madison's longest reigning leader, but this could be his toughest race yet. He only beat challenger Satya Rhodes Conway by 1 percentage vote during the primaries. In previous primaries, he's won by at least double that. Now, Soglin says he has the experience and that the city consistently improves under his leadership. If reelected, he promises to add 12,000 more units of housing and implement bus rapid transit. Now, those critical of Soglin says he has a bit of a divisive leadership style, but Soglin, in response to that, says he has consistently fought for the people of Madison, and if that means butting heads with some local officials, that is okay with him.
All right, Keely, thank you very much. And Paul Soglin's challenger is Satya Rhodes Conway.
This is her first time running for mayor. Although she and Soglin agree on many of the same issues, she says Madison needs a change. She's holding a campaign event at Prism Dance Club on Willie Street. Amanda Quintana joins us from there now. Amanda?
Yes, well, Rhodes Conway was in Alder for 6 years, and for the last 13 years, she's been working at UW at the Mayor's Innovation Project there. And in that, she's been talking to mayors across the country, helping them to set up different innovative things across in their cities. Now, she says that in those two experiences, she thinks that they have set her up to become the next mayor of Madison. Some of the issues that she's advocating for include developing affordable housing, improving transportation, rooting out systematic racial disparities, and preparing for climate change. Now, as Keely said, in the primary, it was a very close race, so we're expecting the race to be close tonight again. Now, if Rhodes Conway does in fact win tonight, she will be the first openly gay mayor of Madison, and the party here at Prism starts at 8 o'clock.
Amanda, thank you. Fitchburg voters are also electing a mayor tonight. Jason Gonzalez is the current mayor, first elected in 2017. He's being challenged by Fitchburg City Council member Aaron Richardson.
And several school districts are also asking voters to approve referendums today. In Sun Prairie, voters are being asked to support a $164 million proposal to build a new high school. There's another question asking for $5 million a year for construction costs and teacher salary raises as well. Now, if both referenda are approved, it would cost the owner of the average $250,000 home another $236 a year in property taxes. And voters are being asked to approve $125 million in referendums in DeForest today. That district growing by roughly 150 students a year. We would like to build a new intermediate school for grades 4 through 6 and also upgrade the high school. A second referendum would increase revenue limits by $2.5 million a year to expand operating costs. If approved, a homeowner's property taxes there would increase by $274 for every $100,000 in property value. And property taxes would also go up in Milton, where the school district wants to cover $60 million in improvements at the schools there. That increase would be right around $330 a year for the $200,000 average home. Milton voters have already rejected 2 referendums over the past 3 years.
Middleton voters have to decide whether or not to triple their stormwater utility bills in order to help cover the damage the system sustained during last year's flooding. If this referendum is approved, that cost would go from $15 to $45 annually for the next 5 years. The city estimates flooding did about $5 million in damage to the stormwater management facilities alone. On everyone's ballot tonight is the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court.
We have our political reporters Jessica Arp and Rose Schmidt at locations with the candidates. And while nonpartisan, we may be looking for some political patterns tonight. Jessica explains from the Neubauer Watch Party in Racine. Jess?
Well, yeah, even though this race is nonpartisan, as we do with many statewide races, we'll be looking at some of these partisan strongholds for where votes are coming in tonight and how support looks in those areas. That includes the Milwaukee and Racine area where we are tonight for Judge Lisa Neubauer, and the Madison area as well. And we know again tonight in both of those places that absentee voter turnout was quite strong. Neubauer voted today in Racine, where she's from. She was appointed to the Court of Appeals in 2008 by Governor Jim Doyle. She's been heavily supported in this race by liberal causes, but has made the case that she is an independent jurist who does not involve her political beliefs in her decisions. But that does not mean that she won't be considered a liberal member of the court. And that's key in part to why Democrats have been fighting so hard for this seat. If she wins tonight, the balance of the court would remain the same, 4-3. If Hagedorn would win, it would turn to 5-2. But really what we're looking is even beyond tonight into the 2020 election race. If it's 4-3 again, liberals believe they would have the chance to regain the majority on the court in that race. Of course, in 2020, that's when we'll see a heavily contested primary on the Democratic side for President Donald Trump being on the ballot as well. So the implications of this race are much beyond this evening.
All right, Jessica live in Racine. Jessica, thank you. Judge Brian Hagedorn is Neubauer's opponent, also looking to fill that open seat on the Supreme Court left vacant by retiring longtime Justice Shirley Abrahamson.
Rose Schmidt joins us live from Waukesha, where Hagedorn supporters will gather tonight. Rose?
Yes, well, Judge Brian Hagedorn will be looking for high voter turnout in what we call the WOW counties, Washington, Ozaukee, and right here in Waukesha County, where the areas that tend to vote for more conservative candidates. Hagedorn voted this morning in Waukesha. Former Governor Walker appointed him to the Court of Appeals in 2015 after he served as chief legal counsel for Walker. He's received financial backing from conservative groups, but is vowing to keep politics out of the courtroom if elected to the Supreme Court. And a win for Hagedorn tonight would give the Supreme Court an even more of a conservative majority. The deep red WOW counties accounted for just under 20% of the absentee votes cast in the state. Back to you.
Rose, thank you. A reminder that Spanish language ballots are available at every polling place in Dane County. The bilingual ballots are located on the handicap accessible machines. People can select what language they would like to use, similar to what is seen at an ATM. Voters have been coming in all day, but now we might start to see some crowds.
Our Amy Reed joins us live from Patrick Marsh Middle School in Sun Prairie to show us if things are picking up in Sun Prairie at the polls. Amy?
Lines are pretty variable here. Sometimes it's non-existent. There's no one in line. Sometimes we get about 10 to 15 people, but ultimately, overall, pretty quick. We've noticed people are spending only 5 to 10 minutes here, so don't use time as an excuse not to get down here. Already by 2:30, we had about a 28% turnout in Sun Prairie, and there have been hundreds more ballots cast since then. In Madison, they just passed the 27% voter turnout mark at 4 o'clock. But remember, that's during the day before people get off work. The Sun Prairie clerk told me she thinks that could double by 8 tonight, and she hopes it does.
Definitely get out and vote. I know a lot of times these local elections have a smaller turnout, but they really have a much larger impact than a lot of the really big elections. So I do encourage everyone to get out and vote.
In Sun Prairie, people are voting on a $164 million school referendum that would allow the district to build another high school. A complimentary referendum would pay for operating costs and raises at the other schools here. Tonight at 10, we'll let you know if voters approve that, and you can get up-to-date results later on tonight on channel3000.com.
All right, Amy, thank you. Of course, there are plenty of races in our area. You can read all about them as well as those results Amy mentioned at channel3000.com. And we're back with more news after a short break.
A man is dead and a person is in the hospital after a car crashed into the Beaver Dam River.
Well, first responders were called to Front Street. This was about 2 this morning. And when crews arrived, they found a vehicle in 3 feet of cold, rushing water. One person was immediately rescued. Another, Jared Frakes, was located and later died at the hospital. First responders initially thought there was also a toddler in that vehicle and had been swept downstream. However, that child was located and safe with relatives. Several police officers were treated for hypothermia.
Leaders in the city of Janesville are working to clean contaminants from a portion of the Rock River. They were discovered during the river's restoration project and likely came from General Motors and other businesses along the water. Public Works Director Paul Woodard says many of these industries were there before environmental regulations.
I don't think regulations really existed back in the early 1900s when all these businesses went along the river. I don't think you would have seen the development that happened probably. So we're dealing with the after effects of that, of basically little to no regulations when a lot of these industries first went in, and we're dealing with it.
Woodard says the city plans to get rid of the contaminants by adding additional topsoil in the Monterey Bay. A Wisconsin Humane Society is taking precautions after a canine disease was brought over from South Korea. More than 20 dogs are in quarantine at the Humane Society in Waukesha. They were exposed to 4 dogs from South Korea staying at the shelter. This is a precautionary move since those dogs were never sick. However, others brought over from the country at other shelters tested positive for the disease.
The Madison Hospital is being recognized as one of the best in the world. Newsweek is including UW Hospital in its first ever top 100 global hospitals list. It is one of only 25 American hospitals on the list, which includes 11 countries around the world. UW Hospital also ranked 14th in the magazine's list of the 250 best hospitals in the U.S. Those rankings are based on recommendations from thousands of doctors and healthcare professionals, patient experience, and other factors like quality of care and patient safety. Shopko's liquidation sales are underway as the company prepares to close its doors. But are you getting a good deal at those sales? News 3 Now's Jamie Perez shows us what some people are discovering as they shop those sales.
These signs outside of Shopko would get most people in the door. When the store is offering up to 70% off, it makes you wonder, how is this store making money?
Their sales are whatever. It's not really a sale.
Amy Gallagher knows how this works, but is shopping the sale anyways. And like her, others have done their own research. People have posted price comparison pictures on social media comparing the liquidation sale price to a sale price they've seen before. Some people are even removing the front price tag to find the sale price isn't as good as they thought.
I think they've always been doing it. And then I'm just shopping at their going out of business sale just to see what other bargains I could find, which I did find some. I was able to get $40 off of a canopy that normally is $100.
Lori Schilling says she pays attention to the prices to make sure she's getting a good deal. If she's not, she said she can often find the same item at a lower price somewhere else.
You just have to be aware that they are marking up their prices on a lot of their stuff.
They mark up so they can mark down. A liquidation sale offers a store one last chance for the company to pay off its creditors.
I think things are way overpriced in the beginning. So I think when they are on sale, it's actually what they should be in the first place.
It's the company's job to make money. It's your job as a customer to do your own price check. And according to the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection, there's nothing illegal about upping the price to make the sale price seem better. They only have to make sure they charge you for the lowest tagged price on the current price sticker. In Madison, Jamie Perez, News 3 Now.
Now, the Better Business Bureau said many of the complaints about Shopko on its website mostly revolve around tagged items not being honored at the register. As a consumer, make sure you're getting your items for the price advertised and are finding the best price possible. Well, sunshine now, but we do have a chance of a shower tonight.
Gary has his first alert forecast coming up after the break.
Gary joins us now. Those temperatures starting to feel a little more spring-like out there. That means those severe weather might not be far behind.
Next week is Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week in the state of Wisconsin. And at the end of the week, we've got our Dark Skies Severe Weather Seminar. This is with the Midwest Severe Storm Tracking Response Center. We've been putting this on for the last 5 years. This year, it is Saturday, April the 13th, so a week from Saturday. Save that date on your calendar because we've got a really good program this year. We have Dr. Louis Uccellini from the National Weather Service. He's the director of the National Weather Service, giving a keynote speech on building a weather-ready nation. We have an audience participation scenario in the afternoon, give you a chance to check your severe weather skills. We'll put you in different types of severe weather situations, ones with a little bit of a twist to them so that you have to do some thinking. And then there are also severe weather safety talks by people from the National Weather Service, from the insurance industry, as well as from FEMA and from the UW. So it is going to be a pretty neat thing. That's Saturday, a week from Saturday at MATC on the east side of Madison. Now, as we take a look at the visible satellite imagery, clouds this morning with some rain and snow showers moved off to the east, allowing some sunshine this afternoon. Now another bank of clouds is coming in from the north and west with some light rain showers that are approaching the Dells from the north and west. They're about to Toma right now and will zip on through this evening. Most of them should be over with by midnight. Time lapse from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville shows the early morning clouds giving way to at least a little bit of clearing later on in the afternoon. And you can see how the sun has been shining now. Right now, mostly sunny skies over southwestern Wisconsin. As we take a look at the live view from the WISC Skycam looking off toward the east, see mainly clear skies there as well. And the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison showing mostly sunny skies over the capital. As we check out the almanac for today, our high temperatures so far, 48 degrees, low temperature 35, but that 48-degree temperature is also our current temperature. Thanks to the sunshine, temperatures have actually gone up a little bit late in the afternoon. Winds out of the west-southwest at 7 miles per hour. As we check out temperatures, you can see La Crosse is at 52 right now as those showers approach from the north and west, but that's with a cold front in the north and west. Those temperatures drop off into the 30s over northern Minnesota. Those being here later on tonight. Winds also a little gusty, around 25 miles per hour, gusting to 43 miles per hour in La Crosse with those showers moving on through. But again, those are going to zip through pretty quickly. The wind shift around to the northwest behind it. We'll see a little bit of cooling for tonight, but sunshine tomorrow bring temperatures right back up into the 50s. Next weather system farther out to the west will stay mainly to the south of us, but bring us some rain chances from late tomorrow night into the day on Thursday. That second cold front again generating the showers here. Temperatures drop off a bit behind it. Ahead of the front, temperatures mainly in the 50s, and that's kind of where we'll be for tomorrow. As you look at future track, you can see just a glancing blow from that cold front, so the showers head off to the east. We'll see sunny skies for much of the day tomorrow before clouds move in late in the afternoon. Then the showers arrive tomorrow night. Could be a little bit of light snow mixed in on the northern edge of that. Nothing that would stick to the ground. And then the showers will continue into Thursday before moving out of here early in the day on Friday. And after that, temperatures will rebound by the weekend. We're looking for high temperatures to be up into the 60s. So our forecast calls for a low temperature of 31 for tonight. Chance of a shower this evening. Then skies will clear out toward morning. For tomorrow, look for sunshine in the morning and then clouds start moving in the afternoon. High temperature at 55. As you look at future track, that little bank of showers moves on through. Skies clear out overnight. Temperatures drop to the low 30s. Highs tomorrow, mid-50s with some sunshine in the morning, more clouds in the afternoon. The showers arrive tomorrow night, especially for areas south of Madison. And then on Thursday, maybe a little bit of snow mixed up into the north before it changes to rain. And the rainfall amounts generally around 1/10 of an inch or so. 7 to 10 day forecast. After that cool down on Thursday, temperatures rebound right back up into the mid to upper 60s over the weekend. Some thunderstorm chances on Sunday, and temperatures stay in the 50s for much of next week.
That guy wearing number 5 for the Badger football team, that's Graham Mertz. Yeah, the Graham Mertz. The story's coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Carolla. Tonight on the news at 9, the polls close at 8. We'll bring you the latest results on tonight's spring elections, and it's first on Fox at 9.
Ethan Happ is an All-American again. Today, the Associated Press announced its men's basketball All-America team, and Happ is on the second team. This season, he led Wisconsin to a 23-11 record, averaging 17.3 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 4.5 assists a game. Happ was also named first team All-Big Ten this season. In his Badger career, Happ had over 2,000 points and over 1,000 rebounds, only the fourth player in Big Ten history to do that. Marquette's Marcus Howard also named second-team All-American. He averaged 25 points a game, helping Marquette to second in the Big East and a fifth seed in the NCAA tournament. It's the first time two players from the state of Wisconsin were named second-team All-Americans in the same season. Here's the All-American first team. It includes two Duke freshmen, Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett. Also on the first team, Tennessee's Grant Williams, Murray State's Ja Morant, and the Big Ten Player of the Year, Cassius Winston of Michigan State. Badger football began its second week of spring practice this morning. If I had a dime for every time someone asked me if hotshot freshman quarterback Graham Mertz was going to be the starter this year, I could retire again. Mertz wasn't allowed to speak to the media today, but Melissa Kim did get a first look at Mertz on the field today.
Now, a lot of attention surrounding the quarterback position, with Jack Cohn, the heir apparent with the most experience, but highly touted newbie Graham Mertz throwing some impressive balls today, including a big 55-yard touchdown pass to Aaron Cruikshank. And the initial feedback on him is that he is a guy that definitely wants to learn.
The more you get to know him, the more you like him and you're impressed with him, you know, how he handles everything. He's approaching it the right way. You know, he's puts the time in, studying it and learning it, and going out, and you know, he's done some good, and he's not afraid to make a mistake, you know, so I think if you have that approach, then you can get better.
He's eager to learn, always asking questions, so that's going to be real important, and that's what the spring is for. It seems like he's hard working, he does his study off the field, so you know, he definitely should be making a lot more progress this spring.
And Jonathan Taylor hasn't slowed down at all, building off of goals the Badgers didn't accomplish last season.
Got to win the West. Got to win the act. So, you know, those things like that, you got to take it game by game. As far as, you know, taking personal steps forward for myself, I know me, you know, becoming more solid in the third down world and the realm. That'll help me help the team.
Now, spring is always a bit of an interesting time in terms of guys who are growing into leadership roles. Chris Orr, who is now a senior, told us that he used to look at Joel Stave and Michael Caputo and say, man, you guys are old. And now he has younger guys saying that to him. At the McLean Center, Melissa Kim, News 3 Now Sports.
Brewers have just started their game in Cincinnati tonight, and Christian Yelich hitting .500 to start the season. And when he singles to left in his first at bat tonight, he's now 7 for 13. That's a .538 batting average. Third inning, Brewers nothing, Reds nothing. Brewers and Cubs play at Miller Park starting Friday, so they get right into it here in week 2.
Yeah, it's nice to see baseball back. That's a reminder.
Those might be must-win games for the Cubs by that point.
Already? Wow, it's early, Gary. It's early.
Well, the weather feeling a little more spring-like, if nothing else. We got a little band of light showers moving in from the north and west that'll sweep across southern Wisconsin this evening. Shouldn't amount to very much. Any rain that falls will be brief and light. Temperatures right now are in the upper 40s to lower 50s. Most areas cooler off to the east of us. 7 to 10-day forecast, 55 for high tomorrow. Some rain showers tomorrow night into Thursday. Could be mixed with a little snow north of Madison. And then a very mild weekend with some shower and thunderstorm chances that Sunday.
Well, Gary, thank you. And thank you for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.